Welcome back to the Golf Fit System series. So this time we're going to be looking at power. Just before we start, I want to show you something. Can you see that out there? That weather is why it's so busy in here. If these guys had sunshine all year round, we'd be skint. Alright? It's nice to see them in the gym though. So, what we've covered so far in this series, we've covered the screening process, we've covered some movement improvement, and then we've covered some strength. All of those things add up to power. Okay? Power is the last thing we train. If any of those things are off from the start, we have to improve those first because they could be energy less. So, once we've got that, we then have a wide spectrum of exercises we can choose from to classify as power. So we can go all the way from the ballistic stuff, the plyometric stuff, all the way up to even some of your strength training, we can put that as power training. Okay, so how you decide what power exercises you're going to use, that comes down to three things. Okay, so we have the testing which we did at the start, and we mentioned one of the power tests, the jump height. If you're lacking in an area of power, so for instance if that's your upper body, midsection or lower body, that's the area you're going to focus on, okay? Because if that's the area you're focusing on your swing and you're trying to gain some power there, you don't have any power leakages anywhere else, we need to improve that so that you're balanced throughout your whole swing, okay? The second thing we're going to look at is which movements can you do efficiently to gain some power, okay? So if you've got a movement pattern that you're trying to work through, and you can't move very well in the first place, you're not going to make any power gains because you've already got to work on something else. It might be stability, it might be mobility, it might be just coordination. Don't just go choosing a golf specific power exercise because it looks cool, okay? If you go too golf specific, you're going to cause yourself some problems. You're going to change the pattern you use for your swing, which might make you slower, it might make you faster, but it could throw everything off. So don't go golf specifically just for the sake of it. You want to choose something that you can do efficiently in the first place, that you can make gains in. The last thing we want to have a look at is this, and we've got this up behind us. So for some people, and let me introduce this is a force velocity curve. Okay, so we'll cover this a little bit more in future episodes. For some people, they need to focus more down this end of our power curve, okay, towards the speed end. They might have lifted weights for most of their life or for most of their training life, and really what they need to do is just move faster. Other people might have played a lot of sports where speed's involved. That includes golf. And if you've done lots of speed stuff, then you just need to get on the weights. Right? So we need to choose which part of the spectrum you need to focus on the most. Everybody will focus on the whole spectrum, but if we have someone who's very much skewed towards one side of that spectrum or to one side of that curve, we need to balance the curve back out. So, before you go choosing any power exercise, remember those three things. One, where do you have power leakages? Are you really, really powerful in your upper body but weak in your lower body? If so, that's where we need to focus. And then we need to think about how can you move best. I mean, if you struggle just in a sagittal or up and down, front to back playing, there's no point in starting to do rotational stuff. We need to cover that stuff first, okay? Get you powerful there. Don't go golf specific, again, just for the sake of it. And the last thing we need to think about is, do you need to move faster? Do you need to be stronger? Or do you bang in the middle? Can we just hit you right here with the power mark? Okay, so think of those three things before you go choosing your power exercises.
So I'd like to start with some of the tests we use to figure out where people have their strengths and weaknesses. So we've got Lewis and Rory here doing a sit-up and throw test. This is one of TPI's power tests. We also use it for all of our athletes pretty much. So Lewis is demonstrating the sit-up and throw. You can see he's working his technique there. Start by lying on your back, medicine ball above your head, lying on the floor, throw it as far as you can. Keep it pretty simple. Put a marker down to see where you throw the ball to, and at the end you can see us measure this. Rory's going to have his go. Don't want to think too technically about anything like this. You just want to get people to throw as far as they can. I'm using a 4 kilogram medicine ball here. That's something we use as standardized. We can also use medicine balls in relation to body weight. So we also use the chest pass. Now, sit up and throw is aimed more at midsection, so obviously their midsection has to crunch very fast to try and create the sit up and throw action. and to get that pull strength. This is much more of a press action with their upper body, so we'd count this as upper body power testing here. So the boys have got a chair set up there. Same line as they use from the sit up and throw, so they're going to measure the same sort of distances. The rule is they have to stay seating in the chair, which Lewis is finding kind of difficult, but you can see him giving it everything he's got, so he's got to work hard to stay in the chair and throw the ball as far as he can. And Rory's marking out. Then Rory has his turn, throwing the medicine ball as far as he can. They can have as many throws as they like. Eventually they'll get pretty tired, so that will only take about 3 or 4 throws before they tire out. So by then they'll know how far they can throw the medicine ball. And they're quite lucky to have a ladies European Tour player there warming up while they're doing the power testing. And finally, once you've done your power tests, make sure you measure the results. Even if your power tests are just something you do in your workouts, always measure the results. You've got to have something to work against. You've got to have something to know that you're improving. Here comes our first exercise. So Lewis is doing a clean pull here. Now I'm going to start with all the exercises and we're going to go slow to fast with these exercises. We're also going to start with the simpler exercises in terms of planes of movement. So a pull, very simple exercise, start in a deadlift position. Pull as hard as you can on the weight to get it as high as you can. So he's hinging over from his hips. This is now in the snatch version, so a nice wide grip. Hinges over from his hips, pulls the bar up as high as he can, as fast as he can. Quite a lot of weight in the bar there, so we call this a strength speed exercise because there's more emphasis on the strength side still. Here we've got Rory going for his PB on a snatch pull. And as I've said before, you have to go and test your limits, even if it's in an exercise. So Rory's going to have a go at a weight he's never tried before. He didn't quite get that one. So he has to now go away, think about, and you can see how frustrated he is, he has to go away and think about how he can work on his technique, how he can work on his speed, his strength, all those other factors to try and get faster so he can complete that exercise. We have another Rory here. So this is us getting into a different plane of motion. Now we're going laterally. A lot of lateral movement in golf. We have to shift our weight from one leg to the other. So we have to consider this. Once you've mastered some exercises in this plane, we've got to start adding speed to them. So Rory's trying to drive up off that leg to force the weight into there. He's not trying to use his arm a lot, he's trying to use his leg. And then after lateral, rotational. So we've got Cameron here who's standing with his back to target, rotating in, driving through again with these legs. A lot of power exercises should be about transferring force from your lower body to your upper body. That's exactly what we do in all sports, and especially in golf. We're going to see that back into a more neutral plane. So a simpler exercise. Now we're moving faster again. So Ewan's rising the ball up, slam down as fast as you can. That's like the start of your downswing basically, when you drop into the ball before you jump back up. And here comes the jump phase from Rory. So you'll have seen lots of these box jumps before on the internet. One thing I want to point out with box jumps, so he's doing 2 legs, then 1 leg, and then he's going to go to the other. With all of these, you'll notice he's not dropping into a deep squat. The box is there to challenge him, also to support his body weight when he lands so that he doesn't land from the full height of his jump. Same with Mark's jump here. Again, this is an increase in difficulty because he's adding in the rotational factor to this. But each time these guys jump up in the box is there to take the force out of their landing so they can land almost at the peak of their jump. See how soft Mark's landing was there? So the box is there for safety. It shouldn't just be something that you're jumping up into a full hip flex deep squat position, because that's just going to cause you more problems. You really want to almost get a height that you can land in the same knee flex you took off in. So even faster now. So as I said, we're going to increase the speed through these. This is a drop jump. Drop jumps, which are quite tricky to coordinate, and a very advanced exercise. So we're getting much more towards the speed end of the spectrum here. So anybody who lifts a lot of weights, this is the kind of stuff you're going to have to be looking at. This is a true plyometric exercise. Any plyometric exercise needs a quick change of direction. So Mark's been doing this for a little bit longer, and you can see how quick his foot is off the ground. So there's not a high drop here. We need a drop that they can control the landing on. So Mark has to jump off quickly to get onto that second box. And then if we want to go faster than that, we need to force ourselves to jump, move, throw faster than we can do on our own. So we need assistance. So Lewis is helping Ewan here to jump further and faster than he could under his own force. So what this is going to do is tell his brain, or teach his brain, that he can move that fast. So a lot of improvements that athletes can make is neurological. So we always think about how to make muscles bigger, or stronger, or faster, but there's also a way that we can make the brain react in a better way, so the firing patterns can happen quicker. That means next time Ewan goes to do that on his own, he should be even faster. Now, if we're going to apply that to jumping, let's go golf specific now. So we've got Ewan in a half kneel position here to challenge his stability, but really what we're focusing on is how fast can he move this golf club. So there's no head on that club, okay? This is just an empty shaft, and this is him moving this as fast as he can, and guess what? He's going to switch around and do both sides. So this is going to be, you can already tell he thinks this is going to be a little bit more difficult. Typical assistant professional trying to figure out what grip he's trying to get. So he's trying to move that as fast as he can. You can have a play box here of sound, you know, trying to get the biggest whoosh you can. He just wants to move that as fast as he can to work on his speed. So this is faster than he should be swinging with his own golf club. So again, we're working way down in the speed end of the spectrum, and very golf specific.
So those exercises that we've just seen in the videos, and the gains that the players are making can only be made if we apply our 3 factors. Okay, so the first one, remember, is that we have to choose the area that you're weakest in. So whatever test that came up that you feel weakest in, or even if it's just your golf pro that's telling you you don't get enough power from your legs, okay, they'll have a pretty good idea. The second one, we need to choose a movement pattern you're confident in. We don't want you to have struggle through a movement. We want a movement pattern you're already confident in and that you can use to make some gains. The third one is we need to choose which is the weakest sort of part of the spectrum for you. How fast do you need to go? So choose a challenge or a resistance that allows you to increase speed on that part of the spectrum. So whether it's towards the faster end or towards the stronger end. The last thing you have to remember is that whatever you do, just give it a rip. You won't get any more powerful unless it's maximum effort. Give it absolute maximum effort. And if you can, make it competitive with someone else, or even just for yourself. Give yourself a marker to improve on. Power only comes from maximum effort when you do it, okay? So make sure you're feeling fresh and go hard at it.